In today's video, we're taking a look at two new video transmitters from HGLRC. Now, this is pretty interesting and pretty unique in the way they've actually created these. As you can tell, they're really thin, very light, and they actually perform quite spectacular. And I have been testing this, especially with the HGLRC Veyron 3 Scene Whoop. They actually come with this video transmitter. Now, both of these are basically identical in terms of the RF performance. However, this one's a bit beefier because it has more space, and we'll cover the benefits of each here. The sponsor of this video is PCBWay. They're currently running an event called Stand with PCBWayers, where they're giving out gifts for old PCBWay users and also new. So go ahead and check the links down below for more information. Now, first of all, let's cover some of the specs here, then we'll take a look at the board because I really am loving the design here. I've never seen anything like it. So the smaller video transmitter is a 20x20 format here, and they are M2 holes, so keep that in mind if you are purchasing this. It does have microphone support, and it does use the Tramp IRC protocol. So if you were to go ahead and set this up into your beta flight on an RX pad, or sorry, on a TX pad, then you're going to want to enable the Tramp protocol for this, so keep that in mind here. Now, this one only takes a maximum of 5 volt. It only takes 5 volt input to be exact, and it could output up to 600 milliwatts. Now, I tested this on 200 milliwatts, and it performed as good as a Rush FPV video transmitter in my Bando, which is why I'd really actually recommend one of these, because I was quite surprised with the performance I got by this little video transmitter, and I was very happy and pleased with it. Now, for the antenna connection type, it is an IPEX port, unfortunately, but that's totally fine. And in the box, they do provide you with a pigtail, and they also give you a IPEX to SMA port here, so you can use whichever you need. Now, they do also provide you with the connector, and basically that's about it. However, if you didn't want to use the connector, you can still access soldering pads from the bottom right here. So you can see 5 volts, ground, video, and RX. Now, if you didn't know how to connect this, it's very simple. What you need to do is provide it 5 volts here from your flight controller. Then you got to give it ground, which is basically a ground pad from your flight controller. And for video, the way you're going to set this up is on your VTX or cam out or whatever your flight controller might say. So this will be your video input for the video transmitter here. Last one's RX. This will go to any available TX pad. And what that allow you to do is allow you to control the output power and also the channel selection through the on-screen display, instead of having to come here and keep pressing the button and waiting for these LEDs to get on the correct channels. So it's really great that we do have both options. And as we can tell here, we also do have a microphone. So what's really unique about this is look at the profile on this. It's pretty crazy. And not only that, it is also shielded. So that is a huge addition. And this will protect it from electromagnetic interference and reduces the chances of noise in your feed. Now, both of these might not look like they have shielding, but they actually do. Look, check this out. So this board's on the bottom here, and this sticker right here is actually hiding a piece of metal that's going across. It's soldered there, it's soldered there, and it's soldered there. And this is acting as a shield, which is insane. I really love the way they've done this. It's pretty crazy here. By far, this is one of the most interesting and innovative video transmitters I've seen so far, and I really like seeing that. Not only that, it does perform good, which is something really great. Now, for the MTVT load, we're actually both called the same name. However, this is the 30x30. And it is also using the same exact internals here. However, this could output slightly more. This 20x20 could output to a maximum of 600, and this one can output to a maximum of 800. However, the only extra difference is here in terms of the connection is this one takes 6 to 26 volts. This one only takes 5 volts. So keep that in mind. This is a 30x30 setup, and if you didn't want to set it as a 30x30 setup, you see these little holes right there? You could actually break these off, and then you can stick this wherever you want, because it does have a really thin profile, which is really crazy. The only thing is the inductor and the connector kind of sticking out here, but that's about it. Now, another thing this one has that this one does not have is that this has a 5 volt regulator on board, and it can be easily also accessed with pads or via the connector. Now, for the antenna connection, they're using an MMCX here, and they do provide you two different types. They give you a pigtail, a straight MMCX pigtail here for some reason. I don't know why they chose straight, but that's totally fine. Here they've done the correct thing, which is a right angle MMCX to an SMA, which is really great to see. Also, the antenna wire is pretty flexible, which is really great. So some of these come very stiff, and it just feels like you're damaging it every time you're twisting it. But these feel really nice. So good job, HGLRC. This is really proper, and I really like seeing this. Now, the way to connect this video transmitter to your quadcopter is slightly different. As you can tell, we have BAT here. So that means battery voltage. But make sure your battery voltage does not exceed 26 volts or you'll fry this thing. So keep that in mind. I highly recommend always powering these off of some sort of a regulator. So hopefully most flight controllers now have a 9-volt regulator. So you'll be able to use that. That'd be really great. It'll give it clean voltage and you have less chance of getting noise in the feed. Next we have ground, which is the black wire. It's going to be run to your flight controller. Next is RX. This is going to go to any available TX pad on your flight controller in order for you to control this through the on-screen display. And the protocol it's using again is the Tramp IRC protocol, so keep that in mind. Next we have a 5-volt output, so don't mistake this for a 5-volt input. This is a 5-volt output. And then we have ground. So if you wanted to connect a camera here for some reason, you could give it the 5-volt and the ground. Video is going to be coming out of your flight controller, which is going to be the V out or the VTX, whatever it might say. Or it could be the C out, like camera output. So that's where that's going to go. That'll come in from your flight controller here and you should be good to go. And that's about it. It's a really nice form factor. I really love how thin they are. I really love the performance of them. Now, also something to keep in mind, I have not tested these for more than 2 weeks. So I've only been flying this one for about 5 days or so. And it's just been performing really great. So longevity test really comes down to the community more than anything. I can only test so many things for so long. But I can tell you immediately that I really do like these and I would highly recommend them because I just could fly really great in my Bando, and that's usually not the case with a lot of things. For example, the iFlight Green Hornets, this was definitely noticeably way better and I was just more confident flying with this. So overall, it's a really good alternative. Unfortunately, I don't have the equipment to actually test these, and hopefully someday I'll be able to afford those. Maybe I'll do some sort of a Kickstarter campaign or a GoFundMe campaign, and if you guys would like to see that, let me know down in the comment section. And I'm gonna leave it at that, guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. Everything's linked down below. Go ahead and check them out. Those greatly support the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.